going to be doing an early look at the Arnold Palmer Classic, where you have a full field of studs and awesome players. We did a really just super duper quick look while we were doing the live NBA stream last night, just to get a sense of what salaries look like. And when you get a loaded field like this, two things happen. Number one, you get really, really good golfers near the top that you want to play. And then you get these other kind of like decent golfers who are just really, really cheap, that you want to play. But then you got all these guys in between. They're always also really good. So it's one of those not weird. It's kind of like what makes DFS golf cool is all your lineups you're going to like. You know what I mean? Like if you forget that anybody else is on the course, you're going to love the 6 guys in like almost all of your lineups. But unfortunately, there are 130 other golfers on the course also. So it's going to be a fun one. And we're going to take an early look. We're going to go through the different tiers, talk about who our favorites are, and a little bit of a heads up. We're doing this live, so feel free to ask questions in here if you're around. But tomorrow night, we're going to be doing a live NBA, NHL, whatever sweat later in the evening, maybe 10 or 11 p.m., where we're going to actually start finalizing our golf builds. So you should probably show up for that specifically. But you'll be notified about that. Hopefully, Bobby will put that up on the site again. If that's we have to actually do that, and that should pretty much do it. All right, so let's just start tier by tier. I mean, who do you like of this top tier, if anybody?
So it's obviously they're all great golfers here. I think Rory is going to be the most popular, and I don't have any problem with that. This thing I'm struggling with a little bit is that I still like Rahm, and I don't buy into this you can't win twice kind of a thing. So I like Rahm. I like all 3 of the guys over 10K, but I think I have the most interest in Rory. I just think that all of these guys I could easily see winning this tournament, and I think are legitimately the best 3 golfers in the world. So I'm going to have exposure to all of them, but probably because I like some of the value this week, try to be overweight on each of them actually.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that Rory is probably going to be the highest owned of them, and I like them, but I could definitely play lineups without them.
Sure,
that's going to be my overall take. I think that Scheffler, he rates a little bit lower, but listen. These are like you said, these are the 3 best. I don't think that anybody's going to really dispute that. So these are the 3 best, especially right now, but even over the last couple of years, whatever. Like these are the 3 best right now, and they're being priced as if they are the best. So it's hard to say that anybody's mispriced there. So when I run my builds, I'll see really how these 7K guys fit in. But I presume I'll be finding some decent 7K guys to play, so you can get up to these guys. But I think overall, in just the way I like to build, I'm probably going to end up being underweight on them. But I do like all 3 of them. So hopefully that is not completely counterintuitive.
No, I could see the argument going either way, and that's just my plan as of right now is to be overweight on them because I like the value. But as you mentioned, you could easily build lines without them because these guys in this next range are pretty awesome also.
Yeah, so in the 9K range, I'm actually kind of it didn't take a genius to figure this out, but I was pretty proud of myself that we looked at the salaries. The first thing I noticed is, Patrick Cantlay at 9,100 is going to be probably well projected and high owned, and he actually shows up at my first run as being the highest, the best value on the slate. So that's good that I was able to figure that out just by staring at the salary. So right now, that's what I see. I see him as being the best overall value on the slate. Currently, I'm getting him this early ownership projection, about 16%. I think he is probably going to be one of the more popular. I think he'll be the most popular below the top 3, if not as much as those guys. So I think he's a very, very strong play. And also in the 9K range, I like Xander Schauffele. He's going to be pretty popular, I think, as well as he always is. Then I have Tony Finau rated next, and Tony Finau I'm seeing coming as lower owned than those two guys. So maybe he's a good turn. Probably my favorite tournament play. And I actually do like Zalatoris. I'm going to be off of not off of, but I don't think I'm going to be on Morikawa this week. But it's hard. I don't know. It's hard to deny all these 9Ks: Morikawa, Hovland. And when I stare at these golfers on my spreadsheet here, it makes me remember why I'm probably not going to end up playing these 10Ks, because all these 9K guys look really, really strong.
Yeah, I agree. It's a very easy. You could easily say that just play the below the 9K, 10K range. I'm a huge Homa guy in general, but I'm kind of going to be. I want to be off of all the California hot swing guys. All the guys who did the West Coast trip and played it well, like Homa did.
Yep.
So I'm a little bit off of him. I'll be below the field. Justin Thomas, I don't know what to do with, because if he's the lowest owned, I'm going to probably have some interest. The guys I liked the most right away were Morikawa, Zalatoris, Cantlay, and Finau. But honestly, I'll have exposure to everyone here. I probably, as of early look, everybody's showing up in that 10 to 20 range, which we know it's gonna slide some way or another. But I think that they all certainly make some sense. And as of right now, I mean, the ones that would be the heaviest on would probably be Zalatoris, Cantlay, and Morikawa. But I'm very much open to switching that around by the time that things tee off, because I have these guys rated so similarly that I don't think this is where I'm going to be able to get a lot different with this slate anyway, because they're all going to be owned anyway.
In the 8Ks, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 8K golfers. How would you rank these? Your favorites?
My favorite is Cameron Young. He'll be the guy I'm probably one of the heaviest on. I actually think he's a reasonable outright bet at 35-1 to win this week. I also think that Fitzpatrick is not. I don't like playing Fitzpatrick as much in DFS. He's not a higher he has to you're doing it with where he finishes and everything. He's not like a huge swing guy. He's not going to have the crazy ups and downs like some of these other guys do. Just in general, he doesn't. He's just more steady. I think that Sungjae, if he was going to be low owned, I would have gone after it, but I think he's going to have some ownership. It does feel like a troll spot. I don't know how not to love Jason Day here, even at this price, even at this ownership. So my favorites are Day and Young. My next favorite is Burns. And because of ownership, I'm going to do Hideki.
Yep. The top projected guy, and the guy pretty much a lot of sharps are going to be on this week, is the last guy you mentioned. That would be Jason Day. I have him rated as the top overall 8K play, and I think ownership is going to be pretty high on him. The next guy I have rated is Tyrrell Hatton at 8,300, and he's going to be probably owned too. The guy I think I want to go back to as my favorite is kind of like my old the guy that did well for me the other week and has been pretty. I don't know. He hits the ball pretty far. He might not drop off people's radar, but I don't know. Maybe he'll get him less than 10% this week, and that would be Keith Mitchell at a flat 8K. He definitely doesn't have the same, type of juice as some of the others we mentioned here, but you're saving a little money at 8K, and he's probably my favorite of the overall 8K range. So for me, Jason Day, definitely the best play. Okay, I just think he's gonna be a little high owned. And then there's, for me, Hatton and Keith Mitchell. Not that there's anything wrong with anybody else. You said I have Cameron Young rated next, but those are my favorites for me.
That makes sense. How about in the 7,500 to 8K range? Because it's just a big range with a lot of good golfers.
Yeah. Okay. So believe it or not, so I have only from 7,500 and up. We count 7,500?
Yep.
Okay. Because my favorite play is underneath. My favorite two plays are underneath 7,500. But my top plays over 7,500 are go right back to Chris Kirk, coming off the win. Hopefully, again, the anti-win bias will keep his ownership low.
Yep.
Keegan Bradley I have as kind of as a good play. And then I don't want to be a thief, so I'll let the last 7,500 and up. I'll let you take care of that one.
All right, so that would be Tommy Fleetwood.
It would,
and that's who's my favorite. I love Lowry also. Kirk. One guy who I love at low ownership is Adam Scott. I'll take a shot with him. He actually, he's up and down a little bit, but he's had some good rounds lately. And I actually think that, 7,600, he's a guy who's like got Fleetwood type top 5 potential. You know what I mean? If he's on. So I do like Adam Scott at low ownership. He's my favorite of the get weirder guys that I've got here. And I don't think I'm going to play Hadwin this week, but I certainly he's another one who's looked really, really good at times this year so far. So I would just think about him a little bit. And down in the 7,400 and lower range, I've got some issues because I happen to really like Minwoo Lee. I know he didn't have the greatest tournament. He was fine. I really like him as a golfer. I think he's a better golfer than his price tag. And I think I'm just going to bet on that and sort of forget anything else because he doesn't have people also, he's going to be lower owned this week. And it's weird because he was so the trendy play last week. And I just think that there's something to that. Gary Woodland looked really good. I think it might be worth looking into. Maybe he's fixed some things. So I'm open to the Woodland thing. Thomas Dietrich, after the horrible round in withdrawal, I'm kind of interested in the zero ownership in him. Aaron Wise, then you get at 7,200, which I just believe in talent. So I'll take some shots there. So all those guys are the ones I like. And I even have a little bit of interest in Sepp Straka at 7K.
Okay, so my favorite is somebody you didn't mention, so we'll get to him in a second.
Interesting.
So the guy, I just that you just mentioned, I have him currently, and this is early ownership projection, like 7.5%. I don't see a universe where Aaron Wise is 7.5% at 7,200. I think he's going to be very popular, but if he's not, I certainly have to play him. That's the bottom line here. And what that means is this. Now, this is a little inside info. So if he's projecting at like 12, he's probably going to be 17. If he's projecting at 15, he's probably going to be 20. So for me to really take a big chunk of him, I want him to project right around here at like 8. This way I know he's probably going to come in at like 13 or 15 or something like that. So that's Aaron Wise. I definitely like him. Before we get to my favorite, is there anybody else we talked? Harmon's okay.
Did I forget your favorite? Was it? It's not Luke List. I'm not.
It is not. It is not. Taylor Montgomery and Brian Harmon are okay. My favorite overall is Mr. Seamus Power at 7,400. So that would be my favorite, and he's getting ownership. I have used 10%, and for under 7,500, that's a number. But I definitely like him. So those are my favorites.
I like that. I know I named a lot of guys because I'm really considering a lot of the cheaper guys this week.
Okay, now we've got like a whole bunch of guys under 7K that we've heard of. This is not like last week we had to like make up names, like Eric with a C. Cole who loses a playoff, or who's the guy that we had the Pierce?
Yeah, Eric. We also do have Eric as a C. Cole as one of the guys.
How about the Pearson Van Cootie who we had last week or something?
Pearson Cootie.
Cootie. He gave everybody a sweat for a while there too. But now everybody here is like a freaking superstar under 7K. I don't know what to do. So give me I'll give you my favorites the way they're at least they're rated for me. My favorite overall is Will Gordon at 6,500. So that's going to be my favorite, and then you can pick any of these guys really, but I'll give you Hayden Buckley and Patrick Rogers, and I'll throw one more, JJ Spawn. Those are at least as far as the way they rate for me right now.
I agree with all those guys. I like a lot of guys down in this range. Guys you didn't mention, I really like Svensson.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with Joel Dahman is becoming the golf darling of the golf world thing. I can buy into that narrative. I like the Hayden Buckley call. I just have watched Cam Davis play so bad, but it feels weird that he's this cheap. I feel like Grillo I could make a case for. I just feel like there's a lot of guys. One you didn't mention also that I like a lot is Ryan Palmer at 6,400. I don't know if Ryan Palmer's ever been 6,400 in any tournament. And I think that Aaron Rye at 6,400 is interesting too. He's been up and down a little bit, but he mostly played better this year. And the other one who found something a little bit, at least, for a couple of rounds was Webb Simpson. And it feels like we would feel like idiots if we just didn't play Webb Simpson a little bit at 6,300 at a tournament that I think he's done well at. I have to double check my history. but it's something I'm definitely looking into, the Webb Simpson thing. I know it doesn't sound like these are weird things to think of, but like I just it's a guy who like wouldn't surprise me if he's in the top 5, and I'm like, he's 6,300. How could I not have some interest in him? I still like Cootie as a golfer. I don't think this is the kind of time you need to play him cheap, because you're going to get him cheap even against the worst golfers. But yeah, that's so I guess I like a lot of guys, but I guess my favorites would be Dahmen and Svensson, Bramlett and Buckley right there too. And I do. Oh, and Will Gordon, who you mentioned. I did like Will Gordon.
So what we're going to do is we're going to go through a little game where we're going to say who's going to win the tournament, pick our best guy under 10K to get top 5, under 9K, top 10, under 8K, top 20, under 7K to make the cut. And what we forgot to do last week was to play the over 9K to miss the cut. So we got to remember to do that.
No, we did it, I think.
No.
We didn't?
We did not.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll start with you. Who is just going to be the winner of the tournament?
I have less of a strong field this week than I normally would. I actually am going to take a guy who is a little bit weird, and we talked a little bit about him, but you know what? I really want to say Cam Young, but I think I'm going to say Will Zalatoris.
Will Zalatoris for the win, and you wasted like a real good, under 10K to make top 5 pick there. So I think I might have to follow your lead as far as that goes, and go with I'll go with Patrick Cantlay to win the tournament then.
Okay, wow. So maybe we are going to be skipping some of these 10K guys and some of these big builds because we didn't name any. To under 9K to top.
No, under 10K
to top, but I'm going to go with a guy under 9K. I'm going to
say. Oh my God. Okay, top 5. Go ahead.
Cam Young.
Cam Young top 5, and I'm going to go with Xander Schauffele to make top 5.
Xander, gonna make me play Xander sheets. Oh, okay. Under 9K, I'm gonna say Jason Day.
So it's under 9K to make top 10.
Yeah.
And I am going to go with Keith Mitchell. This is tough to make top 10 there, but I'm going to take a shot.
Okay.
Under 8K to make the top 20.
Fleetwood.
And I will go with Seamus Power.
Okay.
Under 7K to make the cut. You don't have to be fancy. You don't have to play Emiliano Grillo. You know what I mean? We just want to make the cut.
All right. I'm going to say Adam Svensson.
I like that play. Just to make the cut, I am going to go. Boy, these guys are so volatile. How about I'll go Taylor Pendrith to make the cut.
Yeah, I actually like Pendrith, so that's good to hear.
All these other guys can finish top 20. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
like Grillo and Bramlett, you know what I mean? Like guys like that can actually compete. I just want to make the cut with this one. So now, okay, so
Ryan Palmer is a better golfer than a 6,400 golfer. I don't care what the tournament is.
Well, there's a lot of guys like that.
Yeah, but he's actually done it for years, you know?
Okay, how about the guy over 9K to miss the cut?
It's really tough.
It is very
tough. Homa. Who I love.
Yeah, I am going to say this is kind of gross because I like him in general, but he's just been a struggler. So I'm gonna say Justin Thomas.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
All right. Well, it should be a fun one.
Yeah. So everybody, try to stay tuned tomorrow night, Wednesday night. That would be for the. We're gonna do a live sweat, and then we're gonna do a lineup build. We'll just kind of see how that goes.
Yeah. Sounds good. Looking forward to it.
All right. I'm going to end the stream and then hang out in there with me.
Good luck, everybody.